walking back to my car, I get a phone call from Jade, and I answered it, and I was like, hello? Just normal. And she immediately starts saying, what did you do? What did you put in my drink? Then I heard her say, Blaise, you're scaring me. And he was like, you're scaring me. And she was like, I know you put something in my drink. She's like, I knew my drink tasted funny. And she was asking him to empty his pockets. And she was like, let me see what's in your pockets. Let me see. And he was like, I don't have anything. So this whole time I'm like, Jade, like trying to get a response from her.
On the 25th of February, 2023, Jade Benning had dinner with Blaise Taylor, the man she'd been seeing and was 5 months pregnant by. From the beginning, he had made it clear that he did not want this baby. He'd said it more than once, and he meant it every time. But Jade had already fallen in love with her daughter, and there was no changing her mind. So she gave him 2 options: be a father or walk away. She wasn't forcing anything on him. She was simply done waiting for him to decide. Those 2 options weren't enough for him. That night, dinner ended, and within hours, paramedics were carrying Jade out of her own apartment. 2 lives ended because of the choice he made instead.
Hey there. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Good. Can I ask you your name? Blaise. Blaise? I need you to step out of the car for me, okay? What's your last name?
Taylor.
Put your hands behind your back for me, okay?
What's wrong?
You've got a warrant out of Tennessee for homicide. I'm going to tell you straight up, dude. You're going this way.
All right.
I know absolutely nothing about the case. All I know is I was notified that there was a warrant.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't have a choice but to deal with that, okay?
Yeah, no, that's
So
I understand.
I'm just being totally straight with you. I don't know anything more about it.
Before we get deep into the story, don't forget to like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss out on more cases like this one. Jade Tristan Benning was born on the 6th of March 1998 in Little Rock, Arkansas. She started cheerleading at 7 years old, and the discipline stuck. By middle school, she was leading her squad, and by high school, she had captained both the junior varsity and varsity teams at Little Rock Central before graduating in 2016. Cooking pulled at her just as hard. She enrolled at Brightwater Culinary Arts straight out of high school, and her first job out of the program was head pastry chef at a restaurant back home. She started her own catering business on the side, because building things for herself was never something she waited on anyone else's permission to do. Eventually, she moved to Nashville and landed a chef position at a restaurant in the Wedgwood, Houston neighborhood, where she became known for the desserts she created herself. She called her mother constantly. Nothing urgent, usually. Just small updates, the kind of calls a person only recognizes as precious once they stop coming. At 24, she found out she was pregnant with a daughter, and she was in love before she ever held her. She named her Ivy Blair before anyone else in her life had agreed to a single thing about the pregnancy. When the baby's father told her he wanted no part of it, she didn't argue. She wrote to him instead, in words that would outlive her. "I will love this child unconditionally, with or without you." It wasn't a plea. It was a decision already made. Blaise Anthony Taylor looked, on paper, like the kind of man a family could trust. He'd played football at Auburn High School in Alabama, good enough to get recruited to Arkansas State, where he played from 2014 to 2017. His father, Trooper Taylor, had coached college football for over 30 years at programs like Oklahoma State, Auburn, and Tennessee, and Blaise wanted to follow that path. In 2017, he received the National Football Foundation's Scholar Athlete Award and finished both his bachelor's and master's degrees in under 4 years. No arrests, no history. After college, he moved into coaching and scouting, working as a defensive coach at Duke, before spending 4 years as a scout in the Titans Pro Scouting Department. That was where he met Jade. Their relationship stayed casual, on his terms. No commitment, no pressure, exactly the way he wanted it. Then Jade got pregnant, and the pregnancy became less of a shared future to him and more of a threat to the one he was already building for himself. Jade had made her decision. He didn't have to pay child support if he signed away his rights. That was the arrangement she offered him. He kept in contact anyway. And as her pregnancy moved into its 5th month, that contact came with more resentment than the last time, not less. Then, after weeks of barely speaking, Blaise reached out again. He said he wanted to talk about the baby, about their situation. Jade let herself hope. She thought, maybe, he'd finally decided to be a father after all. When he asked to come over, she said yes. She invited him to her apartment on Lebanon Pike, the same trust she'd extended to him from the beginning, one more time. On the night of the 25th of February 2023, Blaise arrived at Jade's apartment on Lebanon Pike. They had dinner together, they had drinks. At some point in the evening, Jade began to feel dizzy, unsteady, confused. She managed to reach her phone and called her best friend. When her friend picked up, Jade didn't say hello. She didn't say her friend's name. Her voice came through wrong, slurred, disoriented, and then she started saying something was in her drink, that she'd known it tasted off, that this had been done to her on purpose. Blaise called 911. He told the dispatcher Jade was having an allergic reaction.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
I'm not sure. It's on Dawson Pike. I'm at a friend's house, and I think she's having an allergic reaction.
Let's see, I guess I'll go to her so we can find her.
I don't know. It's an apartment complex.
Is there a piece of mail with her? With the address?
I'm looking around. Just give me a second. I'm looking around.
By the time paramedics reached the apartment, she was barely conscious. They rushed her to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, and Blaise followed behind in his own car. At the hospital, doctors saw immediately how serious it was. Jade was admitted to the ICU in critical condition. Her best friend arrived. So did her family. And her best friend told them what she'd heard on that phone call, the same thing she would later tell investigators. 2 days passed. On the 27th of February 2023, Jade's unborn daughter, Ivy Blair, died. Jade kept fighting. For over a week, doctors held on to hope that she might pull through. Then, on the 6th of March 2023, the day that should have been her 25th birthday, Jade Benning died. She never regained the ability to speak to a single investigator about what had happened in that apartment. The only account of that night came from a phone call her best friend had answered by accident, a voice that didn't sound like Jade until it very clearly was. Once Jade died, this stopped being a medical emergency and became a homicide investigation. Detectives with the Nashville Metropolitan Police Department went back to the apartment on Lebanon Pike, the place where it had all happened, and something about it didn't sit right. For an apartment where someone had just been rushed out in a life-threatening emergency, everything looked too clean, too arranged. On the table, investigators found 2 dinner plates, evidence that 2 people had eaten there that night. But there was only 1 glass, That glass had alcohol in it, and Jade was 5 months pregnant. She wouldn't have been drinking, so where was hers? Detectives searched the apartment for a second glass and found nothing. Someone had removed it, and someone had cleaned up after. If this had really been an allergic reaction, there was no reason for any of that. Detectives went back to Jade's best friend, and she walked them through the call again, the slurred voice, the accusation, the fear. It gave investigators a timeline, a witness account, and a motive. But by the time detectives were ready to bring him in for questioning, he was already gone. Within days of Jade's death, he had left Nashville for Utah, out of their jurisdiction, out of reach. Without enough for an arrest warrant yet, all detectives could do was keep building the case. Detectives were about to get something even harder to explain away than a missing glass. A toxicology report was coming back that would take this case out of speculation completely, and Blaise, sitting in another state, thought that distance meant he was safe. He was wrong, and what happens next is the moment this case stopped being circumstantial. If you want to see exactly how far he thought he'd gotten, hit like and subscribe before we get into it. Toxicology results came back showing something in Jade's system, and not a small amount. Cocaine, in a concentration so high the medical examiner's office called it one of the highest they'd ever recorded. She hadn't taken it herself. Someone had put it there. On the 14th of March 2024, over a year after Jade died, U.S. Marshals found Blaise in Logan, Utah, sitting in a car in a Walmart parking lot with a woman he hadn't told anyone about. Body cam footage captured the moment they told him he had a warrant out of Tennessee for homicide. He claimed he knew nothing about it.
Hey there. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Good. Can I ask your name? Blaise. Blaise? I need you to step out of the car for me, okay? What's your last name?
Taylor.
Put your hands behind your back for me, okay?
What's wrong?
You've got a warrant out of Tennessee for homicide. I'm going to tell you straight up, dude. You're going this way?
All right.
I know absolutely nothing about the case. All I know is I was notified that there was a warrant.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't have a choice but to deal with that, okay?
Yeah, that's
So
I understand.
I'm just being totally straight with you. I don't know anything more about it.
He was extradited to Nashville the next day and booked into jail. A grand jury indicted him on 2 counts of first-degree murder, one for Jade, one for Ivy. At his bond hearing, his mother took the stand and told the court her son had never been in trouble in his life, not even a traffic ticket. More than a dozen family members stood behind her. But a homicide detective testified that the apartment had shown signs of cleanup, and prosecutors argued this wasn't the kind of thing that happened by accident. Blaise posted bond that April and wore a GPS monitor while he waited for a trial that wouldn't begin for another 2 years. The case stretched across the summer of 2026, when Blaise finally sat in a Nashville courtroom to answer for what happened that February night. The trial itself lasted 8 days. Jurors heard from Jade's best friend, from investigators, from the doctors who treated her. They heard the case laid out in full, the timeline, the motive, the case built piece by piece. On the 1st of July, 2026, after 2 hours of deliberation, the jury returned its verdict.
Juror number 7, you are the foreperson, and the jury's arrived at a unanimous verdict. All right, if you would, please, ma'am, stand and announce that verdict on behalf of the jury.
We, the jury, find the defendant Blaise Allen Taylor, for count 1, guilty of second-degree murder. For count 2, guilty of first-degree premeditated murder. For count 3, guilty of first-degree felony murder during the commission of a felony. For count 4, guilty of first-degree felony murder during the commission of a felony.
Guilty on all 4 counts. The recommendation that followed was life in prison. In the courtroom, the reaction was immediate. Sobs from both sides of the room. A man who had spent 3 years insisting none of this was his fault, sitting still while a jury said otherwise. There's a moment in stories like this one where people ask how nobody saw it coming, but somebody did. Jade saw it. She believed him the first time he told her who he was. She didn't spend months hoping he'd change his mind. She built a plan around the version of him he'd already shown her, one where she raised her daughter alone if that's what it came to. That's not a woman who missed the warning signs. That's a woman who read them correctly and prepared for the worst version of the truth anyway. The lesson here isn't about trusting people less. It's about believing what someone tells you about themselves the first time they tell you, instead of waiting for them to prove it through worse and worse behavior until proof becomes a body count. Jade did that. She believed him. She just never got the chance to believe him fast enough to also protect herself from what he was capable of doing next. That's the part of this case that doesn't resolve with a verdict. A jury can hand down a life sentence. It cannot hand back the 25 years Jade should have had, or the daughter she never got to hold. It cannot undo the space between a warning being spoken out loud and a system built to respond only after the worst has already happened. If this case had you thinking about what it means to believe someone the first time, drop a comment and tell me what stayed with you. The next investigation is already underway, so keep an eye out for it. 2 lives were taken that February night, and no verdict brings either of them back. Rest in peace, Jade Benning and Ivy Blair.
What did you do when you got there?
When we got there, we said hi, and Jade started packing up the food, and she put the foil on it, put it in a bag, and kind of set it off to the side. And we were just chit-chatting about what they were gonna paint, and we talked about going to a concert, and we were laughing at the fact that I didn't know how to play spades. So that was pretty much the basis of the conversation.
And can you describe Jade's kind of kitchen area when you got there? Was there food out that they were eating, or kind of what was the setup at the point you got there?
When I got there, the food was on the stove. It's kind of packaged. The canvases were kind of off to the side. The island was pretty clear. I didn't, and Jade had a glass of a pink drink, and Blaise wasn't drinking anything. There was no cup in front of Blaise.
And did you drink anything while you were there?
I didn't drill.
Was that something you brought with you?
I did not.
What was Mr. Taylor doing, and where was he at in the room?
He was sitting beside Jade at the island, and he was engaging with some of the conversations, and he was just shuffling Uno cards the whole time.
Was anybody playing Uno?
No.
But he was shuffling cards.
Mm-hmm.
And did Mr. Jones, did he interact with Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, ever so slightly. It was kind of a conversation just in the kitchen.
And do you know approximately how long y'all stayed?
Probably a little over 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes.
And during that time, did anything seem amiss to you?
Nothing too alarming except the comment he made about his artwork that he was going to make, because the whole basis of this project was to make something for the baby's room.
Hearsay.
It's a statement by the defendant, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't think she's gotten there yet, but do you want to ask about what?
Yes. He said that he made a comment about the painting he was going to do. What was his comment?
I had asked like what they were gonna paint, and Jade was like, "I'm gonna make something."
Objection, hearsay.
Do you care to be heard on?
I think it's unnecessary, so no. I do think it goes to Jade's state of mind, Your Honor, but.
All right, I'll go over the objection. It goes into, was that comment from Mr. Taylor right after the discussion with the artwork with Ms. Benning?
Yes.
Okay, right, go ahead.
What did Ms. Benning say she was planning on painting?
She said that she was gonna paint something for the baby's room. She didn't know what yet, but she knew that's what she was gonna paint, something to hang in Ivy's room. And when I asked Blaise what he was gonna paint, he told me he was gonna paint a black hole. And I was like, a black hole? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna call it midnight. The further you look, the deeper you'll go. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. But I was like, well, why don't we just add like a little bit of white to the, you know, canvas to make it look a little lively. And that was kind of that. But it was a very dark demeanor about this painting after Jade said that she was gonna make something for the baby's room.
And were they actually painting while you were there?
No.
So this was discussions about what we're about to do?
Yes.
And was anything else in this other than the comment that he made about the painting?
Not that I can think of or remember.
And did you get food?
I did.
And did y'all leave?
We did.
And after you left, did you communicate with Jade after you left?
Yes.
And you don't have to tell me what you said, but how did you communicate with her?
I texted her.
And did she respond?
Yes.
And did you have a couple of texts back and forth?
Yes.
And can you describe Jade's demeanor when you left?
She seemed really happy, very excited to spend the rest of the night with Blaise, and probably excited that I was leaving now.
When you left, where did you go?
To Keontae's house.
And what did you do when you got there?
I ate my chicken Alfredo.
And were you planning on hanging out with Mr. Jones all night, or what was your kind of plan for that night?
No, I just stopped by. We were just studying, got food. We were just like hanging out, and I was about to go home.
And did you actually leave Mr. Jones's house?
I did.
Did you stop anywhere before you got home?
Yes.
And where did you stop?
A gas station.
And what, if anything, happened while you were there?
I was pumping gas. And as I was walking back to my car, I get a phone call from Jade. And I answered it, and I was like, hello? Just normal. And she immediately starts saying, what did you do? What did you put in my drink? Then I heard her say, Blaise, you're scaring me. And he was like, you're scaring me. And she was like, I know you put something in my drink. She's like, I knew my drink tasted funny. And she was asking him to empty his pockets. And she was like, let me see what's in your pockets. Let me see. And he was like, I don't have anything. So this whole time I'm like, Jade, like trying to get a response from her. So because I didn't get a response from her, I texted her and I was like, are you talking to me? What's going on? And then she was like, I know you put something in my drink because I can't even walk to drink. She was saying that she couldn't feel her legs. And then she said it again. She was like, you put something in my drink. You did this so something could happen to me.
All right, give her just a moment. You need Kleenex. I won't everybody be able to hear you, number one, but then let you calm down. Okay.
Can you repeat the last thing that you heard Jade say?
She said that you did this so something could happen to the baby.
Did she say anything else?
She was saying I'm about to feel like I'm about to pass out. And then like towards the end of the conversation, she was like, is key. And then nothing else.
Like what?
She was like saying, it was very wavy, and she was like, I heard is, and I heard with, and I heard key. And so I then merged Keontae on the phone because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with Jade. Like, something sounds wrong. Like, listen to her. And he's like, Jade, like, I'm here. And at that point, you just really couldn't understand what she was saying anymore.
Ms. Jackson, I want to kind of go back. At the beginning of the call, when you could understand Jade, can you describe, based off of your experience, how did she sound?
She sounded like very scared. She did not sound like herself. She sounded like she needed help.
Did you say she sounded like she needed help?
Yes.
When she was saying the things that you just testified to, did she say some of those phrases more than once?
Yes.
And you said at the beginning, she said, Blaise, you're scaring me.
Yes.
And you heard him respond. Did he respond to any of the other phrases that she was saying to him?
The only thing he responded to was when she said that he was scaring her. He then said, like, you're scaring me. And then when he was asking her if she had when she was asking if he had anything in his pockets and for him to show her, he was like, I don't have anything. And that was kind of all he said.
So you could hear him on that call?
Yes.
And that's all he said during that whole time that Jade made all of those statements, so that she couldn't feel her legs, and she's asking him, what's in your hand? Show me your pockets. What did you put in my drink? I knew my drink tasted funny. He did not provide a response to any of that.
No.
And can you describe that call is a 6-minute and 9-second call? Kind of at what point, is it just at the end, those last few words, that you really couldn't understand her?
Yes.
And you said you heard her say kind of 3 words. What were those again?
I heard is, I heard with, and I heard key.
And did you try to connect that to what that could possibly mean?
Yes, I didn't understand what she was saying, but because she sounded so scared and Keontae was just there, we all call him Key. So I was like, okay, like, she's obviously scared, like, she needs him to help her because she's with another man and Keontae is a man. So when I added him on the phone, he's talking to her, and
is she responding at all?
no.
At any time did you think that Jade Benning was saying those phrases to you?
No.
And you heard Mr. Taylor respond, and you heard her say too, Blaise, you're scaring me.
Yes.
How did that call end?
The phone hung up.
Did you hang up?
No.
At any point did Mr. Taylor say anything to you?
No.
And what did you do after that line got cut?
I called back.
Did you call back more than once?
Yes.
At some point, and you're calling back Ms. Benning's phone, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you have Blaise Taylor's phone to call him?
No.
At some point, was her phone answered?
Yes.
And who answered it when you called back?
Blaise.
And can you describe what was said in that phone call?
I answered the phone, and well, he answered the phone, and I was like, Blaise, like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, FaceTime me. Like, let me see her. And he doesn't FaceTime me, but he tells me that he's about to call 911.
Did you ask him several times to FaceTime you?
Yes.
And you said that you asked him what was going on. Did he answer you?
He just kept saying, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you remember him saying anything else on that call?
There was a point where he asked me if she had an EpiPen.
Did that make any sense to you?
Not at all.
Did Jade have any allergies?
Not to my knowledge.
And at that moment, can you describe, do you know what's actually going on with Jade?
No.
So what do you do?
After Blaise tells me that he's calling 911, he's like, I gotta go. Like, I'm calling 911. The phone disconnects again. That was not on me. And then I called Jade's mother.
And Ms. Jackson, do you remember, was Keontae Jones on that second call? Do you remember that specifically? And when I say second call, the call where you called her and Blaise Taylor answered.
Yes.
And do you remember if Keontae said anything to him or if he said anything back?
He was asking him, what did he do?
And you said that call got disconnected, but not by you.
Yes.
And then you immediately called Jade Benning's mother.
Yes.
And were you still at the gas station, or what were you doing?
I was on the interstate trying to get to Jade's apartment.
And did you make it to Jade's apartment?
Yes.
And can you describe when you got there what was going on?
When I pulled up, the ambulance was already outside. Jade was already in the truck. Her head was to the side. And they were doing CPR. So I'm still on the phone with Bridget at this point, and I'm trying to give her something, but I can't see her face. She's just really pale. She still has on the pajamas that she was wearing when I left. And Blaise is going back and forth, and I'm just like, what happened? What happened? And then the EMT comes around and tells me that we all need to go to Vanderbilt.
Could you tell if Jade Benning was conscious?
No.
Did she look conscious?
No.
And you said that you saw Mr. Taylor going back and forth. Can you describe what was his demeanor like when you saw him by the ambulance outside?
It was just like very anxious, kind of panicky, but he couldn't answer. He couldn't tell me what was going on, what was said. Like, I had no idea what he even called 911 and said at this point in time. And when they tell us to leave, then we both leave and meet them at the ER.
So he didn't tell you anything that happened?
No.
After you left?
No.
And do you drive to the ER?
Yes.
Do you see him again?
Yes.
And can you describe that?
I see him again in the parking lot when we get to the ER, and when we walk into checking in at the hospital. Again, I'm still on the phone with Jade's mom, and we go to the check-in, and they're asking, who are we here to see? I say Jade Benning, and they ask what's her date of birth. But they were asking our relation to the patient, and I said that's my best friend, and he told them that this was his girlfriend. And I had never heard that before. And so at this point, I'm very, very confused. I'm still trying to process and understand what I just heard on the phone. So then they asked for the patient's birthday. And since this is your girlfriend, tell her Jade's birthday. And he couldn't tell them her birthday. So I then provided that information for them.
Did he tell them anything about what happened?
The check-in?
Yes.
No.
But you said he referred to her as his girlfriend.
Yes.
Did you believe them to be in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship?
No.
And you ever heard anything about that?
No.
What was his kind of demeanor like to you? Was he kind of leaning on you for comfort, asking you things about Jade, or what was going on? What was he saying?
We'd like to reurge our objection.
Okay, you kind of had a compound question there. You're asking this young lady what was Mr. Taylor's demeanor?
Yes. What was his demeanor, and was he
She
saying?
can answer that.
Thank you.
What was his demeanor? It was not looking for comfort. It was almost like he was just trying to figure out what was going on, but not necessarily.
Okay, by demeanor, she's talking about emotions or quiet, not what your interpretation of.
Okay, was not crying. His demeanor was very calm per se, but more in terms of like trying to figure out what was going on, but not about the status of Jade's.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll sustain the objection. What's your next question?
Was he asking questions of the people at the hospital?
I don't know.
You don't remember him asking them anything?
No.
What were you doing?
Trying to get some answers as to what just happened, what was Jade's state. I had nothing. So I was in the room, we were in a room in the hospital, and I was just trying to figure out what was going on.
Did you provide the hospital staff with identifying information about Jade?
Yes.
Did they ask you questions about her?
Yes.
And did you provide them with information about kind of her pregnancy and things like that?
Yes.
And you said that you were in a room with Mr. Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody else in that room?
Not at that time.
And did you speak to him again?
Yes.
And kind of what were you saying, and what was his response?
I was asking him what was going on, like what happened. he kind of wasn't really giving me anything. He kind of explained a little bit like that she just didn't feel good. And at this point, Keontae then calls again, and he's asking what's going on. And I'm obviously very flustered and upset. And Keontae then asks to speak to Blaise.
And did you give the phone to Keontae?
Yes. Well, to Blaise.
Can you describe, you said that Mr. Taylor said that Ms. Benning wasn't feeling well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember anything specific he said about that?
He said that she felt woozy. He said that she felt woozy and needed to lie down.
And that term woozy, was that something that was familiar to you?
No.
Is that something that Jade had she ever used that word?
No.
Did he say anything else about what happened?
He said that they danced, that they ate, they played games, and then they painted, and then she felt woozy and she needed to lie down, and that she threw up.
At what point, kind of in the progression of events that night, did he say that she threw up?
When other hospital staff came in and they were basically asking both of us kind of what happened from each of our perspectives, and when he's explaining it to someone, he then adds that in there. But I had known that she had thrown up prior to that statement.
Was that the first time you ever heard him say that?
Yes.
And is it fair to say you had asked him a multitude of times what happened?
Yes.
And so you're present when he's telling the hospital staff about what happened?
Yes.
Does he ever tell them what you heard Jade say to him on that phone call?
No.
At some point, did you tell him?
I did.
And was he there when you told him?
Yes.
What, if anything, did he say when you told them what Jade said to you?
He started talking over me and then says, "You act like you care about her more than I do, and that's the mother of my child."
Can you explain what did that statement mean to you based off of what you knew?
Can you ask that one more time?
That statement, was that a normal statement or an unusual statement?
Unusual.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. She's already stated she doesn't know Mr. Taylor. This was the first time she met him.
Okay. Do you want to rephrase your question? Because I understood that.